Welcome to the Exposer. So recently, Tobi went to a podcast called MILF and Honey, where they spoke about marriage. And he said something quite atrocious when it comes to marriage. We've exposed a lot of things and told you guys what Tobi thinks about the whole marriage situation. But have a listen.
Married couples, marriage is overrated in my opinion.
You're the second guest we've had that said that.
No, third.
Third.
Okay.
Wow.
Overrated in what sense though?
Yeah, this is gonna get me into trouble because if pastor say marriage is overrated,
Yeah, but we know you're conventional.
yeah, they're gonna tell me the Bible says marriage is not. I'm thinking, calm down. Jesus was not married. Paul was not married. So chill. So calm down. I think you should have good friendship. I think you should have progressive friendship that is based on joy, not expectations.
Yeah.
So when a person limits their life to expectation, that means you get into marriage and you've gone to listen to counsel or books that says a husband should do XYZ. Now you're putting pressure on him for things he's not trained to do. It becomes a problem. Instead of when you were friends, you had joy. So don't set a date. The 24th of December is the day expectation starts, meaning that's the day as a husband you have to do this, as a wife you have to do this. I think love is beautiful. Real love now, not television love. Love is beautiful. If two people find reasons for joy, they can live together. They can commit if they want to, but they must. The key, the driving force must be what you have joy, not expectation of what it must be or what she must be.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is supposed to be a pastor who's basically almost encouraging people not to get married. Now, anyone that knows this guy will know he's against marriage. Now, he's on a platform with a lot of young women, and they've asked him a simple question: what's his opinion on marriage? First thing is he calls it overrated. He also mentioned how Jesus wasn't married and said another person from the Bible wasn't married. So he picked out two names from the Bible to basically try and justify why he thinks marriage is overrated. Then he went on to waffle about other things on why he thinks marriage really isn't that important. Now, again, it's important for you guys to understand, anyone that's been in his organization or anyone that knows him personally will know this guy is against marriage. He spends most of his time with young guys and young girls and never gives time to his so-called wife. Again, there's a lot of question marks about him and his so-called wife. But before we get into that, it's important for you guys to know there's two senior pastors in his church. Once they joined Spac Nation, he managed to encourage them to divorce their wives, and they went on to do it. And that's Henry and Nathan. Both of them left and abandoned their wife after they joined Spac Nation. So this is nothing new. It doesn't surprise us, but it's still important for people to see what sort of a con man and what an antichrist this person is. There are so many verses in the Bible that talks about the importance of marriage. And as a Christian man that he's supposed to be, he never brought up the reasons why it's also important to get married is to avoid fornicating, to also, it's how important is what it is to be with your wife and for you guys to become one and to start a family. He didn't talk about the importance of that. He just focused on one specific thing and decided to run with it. And I can give him, we don't want to give Bible lessons right now, but it's important for you guys to know. In the Bible, Genesis 2, verse 24, it says, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." There's a million quotes in the Bible. Genesis 1, chapter 27, it says, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. And God blessed them. And God said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the birds of the heavens and over every living thing that moves on the earth." Again, this is the beginning times. There's so many quotes. I encourage people to go read the Bible and see how important it is to be married, especially as a Christian. Like, do not listen to this guy. This guy is not a Christian. He is an antichrist, and he's putting out information that is relevant to him. Do you know why he has to say that on platforms? Because he's brainwashed every single member that's under him to think that way. That's the reason why a lot of them are so cultish. And the ones who are getting married in his cult, and by the way, people only recently started getting married in his organization. That's about 2 years ago. Reason why is because he'd been exposed. And at that time, there was hardly anyone married in his organization. And he wanted the marriage to be through them. It had to be two people who go to Spac Nation and two people who are heavily involved into giving this guy money. And that is the end of the story. We don't want to talk too much about the whole thing, but we felt like it's very important for people to see how even till today, he's still so antichrist.